Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the absence. Had a lot going on, was sick, had some family stuff going on, but hopefully I'll be back in the swing of things, making some big videos more regularly. Again, apologies. So we're picking up where I left off. Warhammer 3, we had the Dwarf capital, the main one, and showing that ridiculous layout and how it was completely undefendable. The dwarves, as I said, they're supposed to be more strategic in that. But here, we're coming back to the Dwarf capital in Warhammer 2. Now, obviously the map is much smaller, and I know a lot of people were happy about Warhammer 3's maps being bigger, because in the older games we have huge battle maps, even for sieges, okay? But while yes, those maps are bigger, the siege front, they don't make sense at all. Here, we're going to show you the reasons why in Warhammer 2, the capital is more defendable. Alright, one, you're not covering such a huge space. You're not being attacked from both sides, like in Warhammer 3. Also, we're going to let it play here a minute so you can see those towers. Look at this. Alright. Now, here's something that's still messed up in Warhammer 2 and 3. The fact that they can start this close with siege towers. We were only back a little ways. As you can see, we've only gone for 3 seconds. Even if you got Vanguard, that's just stupid. Alright, this is a problem in Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. They start way too close. You almost always, if you're Defender, it's recommended to bring a couple of quick units out, if you can, or at least ones that can hold fairly well. Get in front of the towers. Get them to bunch up so you can blast them, blast the enemy. Now, the reinforcements are coming in at the edge, which is good, but if CA would just make the map like another, just make the outside of the walls 50% bigger, and the enemy's always starting at the edge or outside of it, that would make sense. Totally would. I mean, at least when the enemy's coming in, they can be shot at from the get-go. Makes sense. So, coming in here, again, you see how the tower, you got coverage everywhere, and if you had a full garrison plus an army or even half an army, you could cover all the walls and just be raining death down on them, especially for those coming in at the very edge. Better if it was further out. This is an issue with some garrisons. You get artillery sometimes, and that just doesn't make sense because of the layout of the foundation, or for the way the layout for the city is. In most cases, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense in Warhammer 3 a lot, because of the way they've got it set up. You've got too many things in your way. But here, at least for where the enemy can come at your capture point, oh look, you've only got 3 entry points. You can put some guys here to cover. I generally, as the dwarves, I would have some range units waiting like at an angle here and then here. So as soon as they come in, they're just getting shot by multiple units. Same kind of thing here. I'll have like a unit here and here. Unless they're all coming one side, then it's just 2 units here. Maybe some archers here to shoot over them. Again, same kind of thing. There you go. The catapults are useful here for when the enemy's coming in and they're getting on the walls, so I actually would have put them here for in this situation. And your range units, you don't want to keep them on the walls very long if you're going to start out there with them. I'd rather have melee on the walls if I'm not sending troops out to slow down the advance of those siege towers. So then the range, at least the crossbowmen, can shoot from down here below, shoot onto the walls when those guys land. So we're gonna advance a little bit. And real quick, another thing. So you see how you got your men on here. Warhammer 3, big thing was, oh, we have dockable locations where your range can shoot. No, they can't. They're obstructed the majority of the time because you keep things bigger than these wall pieces in front of them, and there's no openings to shoot through. It's like, guys, Did you not playtest this? No, they didn't. They didn't do anything because they were lazy, the group working with Warhammer 3. But we'll speed up here a little bit. Now see, you can have them on there for a little bit, but it doesn't do much good. So before they got there, if you're going to have units on the walls, I always pull them back so they can be down here to shoot up. Alright? And it's just melee waiting for them. But they give them room, like, because they're going to pour out, they're going to push their way in, which is fine. Because I'd rather them push their way in a little bit further. So there's a nice blob section here that the archers from below can shoot onto. And your catapults, easiest thing to do as well. So again, this just makes more sense in Warhammer 2 than Warhammer 3. Because you're not trying to cover a mountain range with limited troops. Okay, you still don't have a full garrison in this. At a full garrison, you can cover this fairly well. With a full garrison and maybe half an army, you can hold those walls for quite a while. Especially if you can afford to send a few good ones out there to keep the enemy from really getting to your walls so quickly, so your towers can just bombard them. Alright, so my next video is also going to be covering sieges. Oh, before I forget, guys, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and feel free to comment about things you really enjoyed about Warhammer 2 versus Warhammer 3, or vice versa, and where you would like to see them go. But my next video is actually going back to like Shogun 2 and Rome 2, and I've got some maps there to show off that, hey, this is what we had as sieges. The maps were so much bigger. The fortresses, the forts, the castles, because they were different levels, they changed as you leveled up the settlement. These don't flip and change. Alright, it's ridiculous. They don't improve because CA's team working on Warhammer was straight up lazy. Again, hopefully I'll have that out shortly. Thanks guys very much. Catch you next time.